But mute just means she doesn't speak. That is the reason for her silence. I don't know the reason why she is mute, though. Medical checkup?
You don't seem to need my medical attention for now.
Assume that's the case. She has stayed. She hasn't tried to just walk away. I'll leave you be.
Very well. Goodbye then.
Didn't mean to make you uncomfortable at all, but I had questions.
It's locked.
I could just hop this wall. I could just hop over the wall. That's not an obstacle. That's a minor inconvenience.
You look so pale, my lord. Would you like me to revive you?
No, but we may as well talk while I'm here.
Don't be shy, handsome. What can Christina do for you?
I'm not looking for what you're selling.
No.
But I'd like to ask you a few questions, if I may. I'm a doctor. Dr. Reed.
All right then, but be quick. Though I usually get paid when I open my mouth.
Charming. Your life in London. You've got fatigue. Do I have a cure for fatigue?
Do you need any assistance, Miss Popper?
It depends on the price of your medicine.
No price. Here, you take this.
I am shocked that you would think I am that sort of man.
Forgive my suspicion. I'm so used to liars with good manners. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. I hope that makes you a bit more affable to what I'm going to ask. Your life in London. Well, are you well? I just had to give you a cure for fatigue.
Christina, have you been examined? The epidemic is spreading fast in London, and you could be exposed, or expose others.
I don't like doctors or hospitals, but I don't like you asking questions.
Okay. Fair enough. I think that might be a bit insulting to ask. Let's go with, what about your clients? She doesn't care about her clients. There's a lot of risks to your health in your line of work.
Considering your line of work, I assure you it is only a matter of time before you have health issues.
If it is going to happen, it will happen. Right now, I need money. That's what's important.
Why do you need money? Other than, the common causes of you have to eat and put a roof over your head. And your client's health? Any concerns regarding that?
You can put your own life in danger. That's your decision. But what about your clients? If you're contaminated, you will put them in danger too.
They're putting themselves in
and you think
danger.
that would worry me? If you knew the men I deal with, their health would not be what you'd worry about.
Not at all. They can make their own decisions. What do you know about Clayton Darby's investigation?
Clayton Darby claims he will expose the crisis in Whitechapel to all of London. Do you believe him?
I believe Clayton's courage will erode with time, until he finally leaves Whitechapel to start another fight somewhere else.
Are you talking from experience? Have you seen reporters come through here before?
Are you talking from experience?
I've seen your type come here to get a good fuck in a cheap room or a dark alley before going back to their fancy houses in the West End.
So has he bought your services? Why the skepticism?
Why this skepticism?
How can you speak about starvation if you've never been hungry? Or about poverty? Or anything else you have never suffered from?
Fair points. You can speak about them, but probably not from the heart in the same way. Tell me about yourself, though. Why are you here?
Tell me about yourself.
Are you joking with me? People don't usually come to see me for conversation.
I have no interest in your work. I am, however, curious as to what led you into this career.
Short story. The war, exile, and England. This country is not especially welcoming. I've been refused many jobs because of where I am from. I had few options left.
I don't judge you. It wasn't really her decision to sell her body. She was kind of forced into it. Yes, she decided to do it, but she didn't have any choices. She was forced into that choice. Telling her to find another job, that's not going to help because she's doing this because there is no other work for her. Look, I don't judge you for trying to survive.
I always thought I was the master of my own fate. But now I know we don't always have control over our lives. I don't judge you.
You know, this money is not only for me. I have good reasons to need this money quickly, but it is not your concern, Doctor.
Color me curious, though. I shall leave you be.
Goodbye, miss. Take care of yourself as best you can.
Now, Richard Nethercroft. Is he behind the church in this direction? Oh, Mr. Reporter, don't mind me. The graveyard does seem the place you will find a skull, if the graveyard is behind the church. Yep. What did I say? Oh, you can see me! Oh, the glowing eyes! Oh, flip, there's a lot of you. Sugar, right, back up. Careful. Come on. Let's have a bit of a drink. No, I need to get out of here. Back up. Heal. Right. Freeze you. Ow, come on. If I can get one of you down. There we are. How? How did he hit me there? Right, come on. You want a piece of this? Let's have a drink. Very good. This one. Got a bit of a sip. Not today. Oh, I'm out of stamina. Back up. Swish. 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 Right, it's getting more comfortable with the combat. Let's just have a bit of a heal, though. Keep us topped up. And where on earth are we going to find this Richard Nethercroft? I reckon we found him. Good evening, Mr. Nethercroft.
Oh, Camellia, the silent flower of Whitechapel, an angel made flesh, I tell you.
Interesting. You've got a thing for Camellia.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions.
Please be my guest. Although I may not be the best informant regarding this part of town, my words speak about that which the eyes cannot see.
Really? Are you an artist of some kind?
I'm a poet, sir. Richard Nethercroft, at your service.
Well, tell me about yourself, first of all. Let's figure out who he really is about. Your life in London. What are you doing here in particular at night?
May I ask what you're doing at this hour of night, sir? Do you live here?
Not at all. I'm just enjoying the pleasure of a quiet walk. Though night talks are always preferable, if you ask me. Especially with strangers.
Interesting. You're not afraid of the epidemic, then?
But are you not afraid of the epidemic?
Oh, why should I? I see some equity in the Spanish flu. No flesh should be saved, say the scriptures. Good or evil, rich or poor, all are equal in the eyes of the flu.
But you could still be exposed. Even treated equally, you still could get very sick. You should avoid exposure if you can.
If you say so. But as a physician in a time of epidemic, I must caution you to avoid unnecessary exposure, sir.
Thank you, Doctor. But we both know the seeker of truth has to go boldly where the weak dare not.
You are gonna spout scripture at me, are you? Well, your life could be in danger, but I imagine you're gonna say that, oh well, we're all equal in the eyes of the people trying to murder us and mug us in the streets. Your life could be in danger, sir.
Are you aware that your life could be in danger in this part of town?
But this is where I must be to feel the real beat of the city. I had to come, see it for myself, alone.
That's just dangerous. really just simply sound dangerous.
I understand your need for solitude, but it's not safe around here.
I don't care. I don't have many friends, Doctor, and my family despises me.
Your family? Would that be one Darius? Who will help you if you're in danger, though?
If some misfortune came upon you, who would be here to help you?
Well, you for a start, my dear Doctor.
Yeah, right now I would be, but in a minute I'm going to bugger off. What are your thoughts on the situation in London, then? You're clearly very casual about this.
What are your thoughts on the
Cavalier.
terrible situation in this city?
Terrible, you say? No. Of course, the death of so many innocents is a tragedy. But the scourge has not been all bad for the city. Oh, no, sir.
What are you talking about?
Do you remember London before the flu? Noisy, cacophonic, quiet nowhere to be found. And now, listen to this oddly peaceful silence.
It's certainly a unique point of view, but it's not exactly peaceful. You've heard life grind to a halt as people cower in fear. It's certainly a unique point of view.
Yes. The enjoyable silence of the grave.
Exactly.
You have a unique perspective on the situation, I must admit.
Most people fail to understand my perspective. I don't blame them. But how could I call myself a poet if I veiled my feelings?
I appreciate the quiet, but I think you're taking the wrong lessons away here. The mute florist is part of a plot. What would telling him that achieve? Why seek inspiration in Whitechapel, though? Is it your fancy for the florist?
Tell me, Mr. Nethercroft.
The place is not beautiful per se, but how to explain it? Stirring and challenging.
Do you not think it's a little too morbid to be stirring? I mean, I suppose morbid is a stirring feeling.
Do you not think it a little morbid?
On the contrary, sir. Whitechapel is full of life, full of beauty. Just like my dear muse, the wonderful Camellia.
What can you tell me about Camellia?
Not much. And that's the beauty of it. She can't speak, you know. She's a locked mystery who exhales kindness and sweetness.
You're just grasping, though. You don't know her.
And have you ever tried to learn more about her? Where she lives? How she survives? Whom she may know?
Maybe I prefer she remains an enigma. Reality can be so dull, don't you think?
Or are you simply afraid to know the truth about her? You think that knowing about her would ruin this fascination you have?
Perhaps you're just afraid to find out the truth about your muse.
One day, perhaps, I'll ask her to come with me. But will she still be my wild flower of Whitechapel if she moves uptown?
You were truly obsessed with her. I'm worried for her safety. Do you have examples of your inspiration from Whitechapel?
In what way, exactly?
The struggle by gaslight, the barren smiles, and the arid hunger under the rain.
If you say so.
Such vibrant antagonism and vivid paradox. The stripped humanity raged across each street.
Vivid, of course, yes. And what about the poignant distress?
Oh yes, the poignant distress. You see what I mean, don't you? That's what I want to write about, and that's what Whitechapel is made of.
It's not really nice to write about it in a poetic sense, though. Do I tell him about... Why not? Let's go for it. The mute florist, your muse, she's part of a plot.
Did you know the mute florist is a member of a secret society?
No, I didn't. But I thank you for this information, sir. For it only enriches the mystery surrounding the precious Camellia.
Oh, I should not have told her that. You're a helpless romantic. I shouldn't have told you that.
I fear you are a hopeless romantic, Mr. Nethercroft.
Guilty as charged, Dr. Reed.
Are you not at all curious about this secret society that I shouldn't have told you about?
Are you not curious? Is there not more you wish to know?
That girl has not an ounce of malice in her. Whatever she may be hiding, it's certain to be for the benefit of most, if not all.
A bold claim for somebody you've never spoken to. Look, I'm looking for Nurse Dorothy Crane.
May I ask you a few questions about the district?
Extraordinary part of town, is it not? I'll be glad to help you, if I can.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane?
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane, a nurse who lives in this vicinity.
Dorothy Crane. Oh, I love the name. The Crane of Whitechapel. Sounds very mysterious. But, sorry, no, never heard of her.
No, I just want you to answer my questions. I don't need the poetry. You do know a Darius Petrescu, though.
What can you tell me about an old man called Darius?
Darius Petrescu? Yes, I know him. At first, I thought he was only a small publisher. I invited him to publish my work, but his reaction was pretty clear.
Not
Publisher?
interested in your talent?
Darius is an old political activist who takes delight in printing tracts and lampoons. Those communist activities only require mediocre writing skills.
Oh. Well, he's a publisher. That is good to know. I'm going to leave you be.
I'll leave you alone, sir.
And
Darius is a bit less of a mystery now. It should not be that difficult to incite him to let me in.
Some of us come
No.
to this world already touched by grace.
Editor refusal letter. Where is that? Dear Mr. Nethercroft, thank you for sending your book of poems, songs from the defeated city, which we found as interesting and profound as we told you the first time we received it. Alas, in our terrible times our country is currently facing, you must understand that the title would be totally inappropriate for any publication. Thus, since you still refuse to change your title and demand the full publication of none of your work, or full publication or none of your work, I'm sorry to announce that Sycophant Publishing chose the second option. He thinks far too much of his own talents. Let's open this from this side. Now we can get through. I should speak with her and just let her know, hopefully. Can
Hello
I?
again, miss.
Hello. Do you know Richard Nethercroft? I know I'm really talking at you and informing you, but, I'll ask you if you know of him.
Tell me about Richard Nethercroft. I understand he is quite fond of you, Camellia.
And she is very resistant.
Very well. Goodbye then.
Goodbye. Well, I've made her aware of his fascination. Can I confront him about the letter?
Good evening, Mr. Nethercroft.
And good evening to you too, my good sir. Can I be of any help?
I'm mainly curious about this letter. Do you make a living from your writing, or are you living off other money? Because you don't seem to be particularly successful from where I'm standing.
You don't really make a living from your scribblings, do you, Richard?
No, sir, I don't. I work so hard. I put all my time, my energy, my devotion into the precise carving of words.
You don't seem to suffer from poverty. I think rich artist is rare, I suppose. You don't suffer from poverty. You seem well off enough.
Still, you don't seem to suffer from poverty.
With thanks to my parents, actually. I'm afraid I would not be able to live on my own without their help.
You seem embarrassed.
Someday I hope to proudly offer my first publication to my parents. Until that day, I'll remain the failure of a son they have to support.
Interesting. I will leave you be.
I'll leave you alone, sir.
Now, let us try this one more time.
Mr. Petrescu, just 1 minute, please.
You again. Go away.
You'll have to make me. Let's have a man-to-man talk.
Sir, wait. Stop this nonsense. I know Nurse Crane is here. Shall we speak man-to-man, you and I?
All right. Speak up.
Don't you see we're on the same side? We fight to help the poor, sick, and abandoned.
I'm nothing like you, Mr. Doctor.
Yes, you are. You too believe in providing medical care without charge. You know what we have to sacrifice to make the world a better place.
I have to admit your words have conviction. All right, I'll let you see Dorothea. Don't make me regret this, though.
I won't. Anything to be discovered in here, though? Antique figure of the Vricolas. Read that another time. I'm going to pinch from this man's safe. Speaking of helping the sick, you're sick yourself, sir.
If you want to talk to Dorothea, you must go across the courtyard and take the stairs.
We've not been formally introduced. May I ask your name and occupation, sir?
I am Darius Petrescu. I'm here to keep snitches and spies away from Dorothea.
Spies?
And I also run this little print shop.
Well, first of all, let's check your medical history, sir.
Do you need some help, Mr. Petrescu?
I am very tired, but that is all. I don't need you, Doctor.
Treatment for Oh, wait, I don't actually have the treatment. No, I couldn't actually make it right.
Well, if you feel all right, that's fine.
What do you do here, though? How did you meet Nurse Crane?
How did you meet Nurse Crane, Darius? Why does she trust you?
I'm her oldest friend in England. Dorothea and I share many ideas about this country and about the country we left.
You mean occupied Romania, don't you? Even if not directly, I fought against your enemies.
Really? Then perhaps you have more in common with Dorothea than meets the eye, Dr. Reed.
Did she fight in a resistance? Or was there a resistance? Tell me about your political past.
I know you fought for your country when it was occupied, Darius. Tell me more about it.
I know my days are numbered, and I know I won't see my homeland again. But I fought for Romania all my life, and I will until my last breath.
But Romania escaped the grasp of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. It's a free country again.
It is not the country I fought for. My homeland is not appeased, Doctor. And I still see a dark future ahead for my people.
Tell me about your family. Do you have any family left back home? I'm asking as if I don't know that you have family back home, but I want to hear it from you.
Do you have any family left, Mr. Petrescu? Children or grandchildren?
Who knows? I have abandoned my people for so long, they might as well be dead. As dead as I am for them, I suppose.
My father left us too. Well, let's speak about my father. He left my family too, I believe.
Don't be embarrassed, sir. If you must know, my own father disappeared many years ago, and I forgave him.
It's quite awkward to talk about our families like this, but thank you, Dr. Reed. I appreciate your trust.
Do you plan to leave England after the war? I mean, again, I kind of know that you don't plan to leave, but I want to hear it from your mouth in case you tell me anything different.
This war won't last forever. Did you ever think of returning to your country now it's free?
No. I have taught strength and determination to my sons and daughters. I'm an old, dying man who only has memories of better times to cherish.
Okay. About Nurse Crane's real name. Dorothea, is it? Let's ask about that.
So Dorothy's real name is not Crane?
Like myself and many people in this area, Dorothea is from occupied Romania. That's all you need to know.
She seems important to the community.
More than you can imagine. The West End does not want to hear of Whitechapel's misery. Dorothea is one of the few doing something about it.
She works incredibly hard if she's working between the hospital and here. It's constant work for her. What can you tell me about Camellia, though, the mute florist?
Tell me everything you know about Camellia, the mute florist.
I do not believe in the afterlife, Doctor, but I'm almost convinced Camellia is an angel. She volunteered to give out our medical leaflets.
And you're not worried about her safety, walking alone at night?
Are you not worried for her safety?
She is as brave as she is tough, and clever, too. If only I had met her when I was younger.
Are you in love with Camellia, Mr. Petrescu?
Don't be stupid. If I had met her when I was younger, we could have won our revolution.
You're a passionate man, I'll give you that. Do you know who she is really?
Who is she, really? Do you know where she's from?
She's not from around here, that's all we know. Camellia is not even her name. It's her favorite flower.
You say she has no close family.
Well, there's that awful poet who constantly follows her around like a lost puppy. A good man for sure, but a very poor writer.
Speaking of his poor writing... Oh, can I ask you to tell me more? Tell me even more about Camellia if you can.
Tell me everything you know about Camellia, the mute florist.
I do not believe...
Oh, no. We've had this discussion then. I don't know why that's not grayed out then. Why not publish Nethercroft's work? I mean, he seems like he wants to write about how awful it is here, and that would raise awareness.
Did you refuse to publish Richard Nethercott's previous works, Darius?
Yes, his manuscript is as pompous as he is starched. Now there's a man who loves the sound of his own voice.
You could have told him so.
As a great writer recently said, politeness is the most acceptable hypocrisy.
Interesting. So there should be more to talk about Camellia then. But for now we will leave it be. I will get going.
Goodbye, Mr. Petrescu.
Because I have an appointment with my nurse. And can I get these gates open from this side now? Yes, I can. Well, house call. Miss Crane. She's not upon the ground floor, I don't believe. I wonder why she doesn't just take them to the hospital. Is it because they can't afford to pay? Raz?
Can you hear my voice?
I don't like the sound of that. Letter to Nurse Crane, 31st October. My dearest Dorothea, when you read this letter, I will be on the boat that will take Anton and me back to Brasov. England was not for us, and I confess I cannot wait to see again the proud hills of Transylvania. As soon as we are there, I promise I'll light a candle in the Black Church and pray for you to survive this terrible epidemic. I know that you do not agree with this decision, and that you are determined to be more useful by helping our comrades exiled in the East End, but Anton cannot wait to return to our beloved country and see our long-awaited revolution bloom. He is my husband. I will stay by his side. I know we had our arguments and our fights. I know you would have wanted me to stand by your side and help you manage this clinic of yours. When I'm leaving England, be assured that if anything would happen to you, if you ever were in great trouble or danger, I would come back immediately to London, with or without Anton. Please think of me as much as I think of you. I'm your affectionate sister, Theodora. Nurse Crane,
I need help!
I'm here. I think you might be beyond your
What
help.
do we have here, nurse?
Patient Razvan Vasily. High fever running on 3 days. Complaints of dizziness, muscle aches, and head pain. Diagnosed with influenza.
Treatment?
Aspirin and salicin for the fever and discomfort. Liquids for dehydration, but he's having trouble keeping even water down.
Anything else I should know?
Thank you, nurse. Anything else I should know?
He did lose consciousness this morning, but he's never had convulsions like these.
He's not convulsing, he's choking. He's not getting any air. Scalpel! Hand me that scalpel!
What can I do, Doctor?
Hold him down, I guess. I don't think we've got time for anesthetics. I must perform a tracheostomy. I can't pronounce that. Anesthetic can come after.
Perform a tracheostomy. Short pipe. That rubber tube will do. We're going to cut a passage for air through the neck.
Yes, Doctor.
Oh,
He's breathing again, but he's coughing up blood.
that's good, I think.
Internal hemorrhaging. I need to make another incision into the chest cavity to drain the fluids from the lung. Prepare another tube.
A thoracostomy. Doctor, we've nothing to fight the infection. We need an aseptic environment.
What would you suggest?
Right then, Nurse Crane. What do you suggest we do?
I've no idea. I'm not the doctor.
Time is of the essence. We need to perform a thoracic drain.
Yes, Doctor.
Oh. Okay. Just ignore my bloodshot eyes. Oh.
He's still bleeding, Doctor. I'm losing his pulse.
The drain must have punctured the intercostal artery. There's too much blood.
Oh, have I killed this man?
Are you all right, Doctor?
I can't see.
My eyes? Oh, let me finish the I'm not going to drink this, man. I must suture the artery.
I must first suture the artery. Find the wound. The source of the blood.
Needle and thread, Doctor.
Good. The stitches are holding. How's he doing?
We're losing him. We've lost his pulse. He's dying, Doctor.
Oh. Epinephrine or cardiac massage? Epinephrine. Oh, epinephrine.
A dose of epinephrine, now.
Yes, Doctor.
Oh god, it's almost like I'm not a licensed medical professional. I think we've lost him.
We've lost the pulse. He's gone, Doctor.
Nurse, we did everything we could.
Truly? Everything you could. Is that how you'll report this in your log? Is this how the war went? Piling up one poor corpse beside the next?
This was not an influenza-induced seizure. I've never seen symptoms like these on the continent.
Neither have I. But the previous symptoms leading up to this attack were the same, indistinguishable from the epidemic.
No. There was something more vile in these reactions. Something primitive.
There have been numerous reports of mental breakdowns caused by the fever that accompanies the flu itself, Doctor.
Yes, but I'd best take some samples of the blood for analysis.
Gotta say, you handled yourself very professionally, Nurse Crane, considering the shock you must have had of me walking in.
I doubt you're here to test my bedside manners.
No, I am not.
I suspect it was more than intuition alone that led you to us. So, how might I be of service, Dr. Reed?
I've come to stop the blackmail you appear to be involved in.
I've come to put an end to this insufferable blackmailing, Dorothy.
Doctor, you think your warnings scare me? I've stolen and plied, blackmailed and lied, but what else am I to do? I'm all these people have.
What blackmail do you even have on Lady Ashbury?
But why Lady Ashbury? Why her, of all people?
She's pristine and proper, all right. But that she-wolf in sheep's clothing murders the poor for sport. I have her where she belongs, and I'll milk her for all she's got.
I wouldn't call it sport, but she is taking advantage of those people and she sees it. So this is a end justifies the means situation.
So, the end justifies the means. Is that your defense?
I know you're kind, Doctor. Just another fine-heeled, silver-spooned gentleman who was given the world on a platter. You know nothing of poverty. Nothing of the shame, the hunger, the loneliness.
That's right, I don't. But could you not have trusted Dr. Swansea with this?
Dr. Swansea is a sensible and honest man. He wouldn't have refused your friend's care at Pembroke.
It's easy for you to say, Doctor. These people cannot go to the police, nor to the hospital. They don't even speak English. They depend on me for everything.
That isn't fair on you, though. You shouldn't be putting all of this upon yourself. But the blackmail must stop.
You've convinced me of the sincerity of your actions and their noble justifications. But all the same, blackmail is a crime, and it will stop, Nurse Crane.
So, are you going to turn me over to the authorities?
If I must. Oh. So there was another solution to this. Or do I take this opportunity to embrace her? No, she is the pillar of this community. Without her, it falls apart. I will look away, but you resign. That's the deal.
No. Your place is here. Jailing you would be an even greater crime. So, here is my proposition. I'll look the other way on your little enterprise. In exchange, you will resign from the Pembroke Hospital and provide me with medical supplies when the need arises.
Dr. Reed! That sounds like a business proposition. My accomplice, then?
No, just a privileged client. My research may require the occasional rare piece of equipment or ingredient. I'll pay good coin in exchange, fair and honest, to help finance your noble endeavors.
We have ourselves a deal, Doctor. Good customers are always welcome.
Yes, Nurse Crane. We have a deal.